Hey, sports fans, PB&Z Sports Chaos, we're back, and we got a wild one this week for you. First of all, PB, what are you drinking? You got a little Screaming what?
Yeah, I got my Screaming Rails IPA, it's called. It's from a brewery called Saltwater Brewery. They're out of Delray Beach, Florida. I've featured this on the show several times. It's one of my favorites, 7.0. Love it.
Wow, you got a kickstart tonight. All right. Those guys they gotta shout us out one of these times, don't they? All right.
I'll reach out to them.
Hey, here we go. We're going to talk a little bit wild card weekend last week, but then we're going to get into the divisional round this week. We got to recap the college football title game. PB was absolutely correct. We'll talk about that momentarily. We got a little NBA news. We got a little PB's A to Z list. It's back this week. You're going to love it. 3 of the best head coaching jobs in the NFL that are open right now, and 3 head coaches that are on the hot seat. All right, let's get into this, man. PB, you ready? The 2-minute drill.
Do it.
NFL wild card last weekend. We had 2 upsets. Cleveland beat the Steelers. Who saw that coming? I don't know. Rams, they beat the Seahawks. If I only known Goff was playing, maybe I would have said it. And for some, maybe the Titans losing was upset. I don't agree. We'll talk about that momentarily. By the way, the NFL coaching carousel continues. Philly's Dougie Peterson, he lost his job. That means now 7 openings, but we got a couple of them filled. We'll talk about that momentarily because one of them is going to include Urban Meyer and the San Francisco nut job, Robert Salama. NBA, yeah, he is a nut job, right? NBA news. Oh, who saw this coming? Everybody. James Harden asked to get out of his contract, asked to be traded to the team he wanted to go to, the Brooklyn Nets. Now, PB, they have the 3 most selfish players in the game today, and 2 of them, Kyrie and Harden, may be the most selfish ever to play the game of basketball in the NBA. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, they won't be middle of the road. They're either going to go all the way to the conference finals or they're going to just fall apart completely.
Cancer Kyrie will kill him. That's my prediction. Oh, now let's talk about another one that we've been talking about for a long time, prediction-wise. College football championship last week. Thank God there is a God. Alabama crushed the Ohio State Buckeyes, 52-24. PB, you've been talking about it all year long. They didn't belong, and sure enough, I think they didn't belong, right?
Yeah, the next day I called them the fraud squad of Ohio State. The
fraud squad, I love it.
Fraud squad. I mean, they didn't deserve to be there, shouldn't have been there, and clearly did not represent the Big Ten well, and just got their butts kicked. And I loved watching it. I loved watching, between Mac Jones and Devonta Smith and Najee Harris, they just ripped him apart. Waddle was playing, but he didn't even factor in, really. They just destroyed him. It was awesome to watch.
I will say Waddle probably would concern them a little bit, but you're right. Devonta Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, 13 catches, 215 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that's not for the game.
That was the first half. It was an absolute display of just awesome football, and Ohio State was just spinning their heads around all night long.
By the way, I guess I got to finally acknowledge it. Nick Saban, I know he was a Dolphin fraud back there in the early 2000s, but he's proved to be a legendary college coach. He now passed the legend, Bear Bryant, 7 titles, 6 at Alabama, 7 overall. And by the way, he's won those 6 at Alabama in the last 12 years. He didn't win right away when he got to Alabama. His first title, I think, was in 2009. So he's the real deal, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and they're going to have more to come, too.
Oh, man. Hey, by the way, red-faced Ryan Day from Ohio State, now that Urban Meyer's recruits are all gone, I don't know you're going to survive, dude. I don't think you're a great coach after all. We'll see what happens with that. By the way, PB, latest mock draft, you're going to like this one. Justin Fields is predicted to go 15, and Mac Jones, the winning quarterback, 22nd to the Indianapolis Colts. But Fields is predicted to go to the Pats. I don't agree with that. Would you flip them?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Oh, me too. I mean, first of all, he's a 4.0 in 2 majors. He's a grad student graduate already in 3 years. The guy is what the Pats love, intellectual guys, not freaky athletic guys, right?
Yeah. No, Mac Jones will be an NFL quarterback that people will want to watch.
I would love to see him in New England.
Justin Fields is going to be another Dwayne
Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins. That's what he's going to be. Yeah, another Dwayne Haskins.
There you go. Hey, by the way, Alabama, Clemson already the early favorites next year. Ohio State's third, tied with my Sooners, so we'll see what happens. BB, real quick before we get into the rest of the show, college football named their Hall of Fame finalists this year. 2 local guys, or at least from the Pats' perspective. Andre Tippett, remember him? Probably the next greatest linebacker in the 80s to Lawrence Taylor, right?
Yeah.
And Kenny Game Day Sims. Remember his quote? Long before Allen Iverson, he said, practice what? I only play for game days. That's why you got the nickname, right?
Good one.
Oh, man. All right. Hey, what do you think? Let me ask you a quick question. We just mentioned Urban Meyer. He's going to the pros. Do you think he will be successful? The guy has been successful at 4 programs after his second year, third year there. Can he do it in the pros?
Yeah, it's tough, right? It's hard to say. There's been a lot of really, really good college quarterbacks that have come into the pros and just not cut it, right? We've seen it time and time again.
College coaches, yeah, right.
Yeah, college coaches. And could this happen again? Yes, it very well could. But Jacksonville's got, I think, some opportunity there for him. Just having the number 1 pick and having some draft picks that he can start to build that team up with. If they can get Trevor Lawrence and then start to build a team around him, may not turn around the team in a year, but give him a few years there, and I think the Jags could be contenders to make the playoffs.
What a segue, fans! What is the 3 best head coaching opportunities, including the one that just got filled by Jacksonville and the Jets this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with my number 3 on this list is going to be the Houston Texans.
Okay.
And they do have some problems with the team. They do have to get their act straightened out there. Unfortunately, they don't have any first or second round picks going into this coming draft, which is going to make it a little bit challenging. But they have Deshaun Watson. They have the franchise quarterback. And this league now is built around franchise quarterbacks. So that already taken care of. And you know what? As much as Bill O'Brien ended up, taking that franchise and tanking it into the ground, they still made the playoffs a lot, and they won that division quite a few years.
I believe 3 times, yeah.
Horrible. It's not like they're the Jets or somebody, right? They contended every single year. So if you can just bring those pieces together, and I think that's an opportunity there. So I'm going to say the Texans is your number 3.
All right.
On that list. And I know they're going heavy after Dayball. They're going heavy after Frazier. It looks like they want a Buffalo Bills guy in that system, but we'll see where it goes.
Who do you got for 2?
Number 2, I have the Jaguars. The Jaguars, which that opening's been filled, as we know, by Urban Meyer. Just because the fact that they can draft number 1, they're probably going to take Trevor Lawrence with that pick and then start to build a team around him. And I think they can contend within the next couple of years.
Plus, they got $76 million of cap space.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they have the number 1 cap space in the entire NFL, so that helps.
And, as you know, being a Miami native now, no state taxes in Florida, right?
I know. That should attract a few people.
When you make $10 million a year, that's attractive.
Yeah, right. Their taxes are our salary, so.
All right. So what is your number 1 destination?
Number 1's got to be the Los Angeles Chargers.
I would agree with you. All right.
What we saw out of Justin Herbert this year, I think that team is poised. I will probably pick them to make the playoffs next year, just with the talent on that team alone. And then layer in a good coach on top of that, and you're in good shape.
They're only 2 years removed from the playoffs, right?
And right, exactly. And I know they're going hot and heavy after Brian Daboll. He's probably the most likely candidate to land there. We'll see. The Bills got to obviously close out their season here. Hopefully not this week, but that's a likely landing spot for Daboll. And I know they got their sights on Staley, too, the defensive coordinator for the Rams. Less likely of a candidate to land there, but those are probably the two likely people right now to end up in LA.
Hey, by the way, Robert Salomar, the 49ers coach, who is now the Jets coach, correct? Right? He got hired yesterday.
Yeah.
I got a bold prediction, fans. He's done in 3 years. Any guy that needs to have an assistant behind him, pulling him off the field so he doesn't get a penalty, is way too emotional to be a head coach, BB. That's my thought.
I might even take the under on that 3 years.
I'm with you. All right. Hey, let's get into our NFL talk. By the way, last weekend we saw some good football. We talked about at the top of the show. We had a couple upsets. But, PB, I got to call something out here. We had a little text exchange. Initially, you were disappointed in Lamar in the Titans game. You thought he was a joke. Matter of fact, I believe the quote was, Lamar sucks. He cannot win an NFL championship. No quarterback who doesn't win an NFL Super Bowl sucks. So, Miami fans, I got one thing to say for you. Dan Marino, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, never won a Super Bowl. So, right here, PB, Paul Banner, if you see him on the streets, wanted dead or alive because he says Marino sucks. All right. Let's get into this. We're going to talk about the games this week. We're going to start with the Rams, Green Bay. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and you've been hearing this on every sports channel if you're watching and following. It's going to come down to that matchup, and can Jalen Ramsey actually cover Devontae Adams? That's the big question.
Which he can. That's not a problem there. So.
Which he can. So then what else, right? What other weapons does Rodgers have at that point, right? He's going to have to rely on guys like Lazard. He's going to have to rely on Valdez-Scantling in order to throw the ball to. Tonyan might come through and have a big game at tight end, and then you got Aaron Jones. We know that Goff is going to start. He's been named the starter for this game. His thumb, we don't know. He's saying his thumb's fine. I watched him last week, and he did not look good on a lot of throws.
Think about that. He's throwing the ball, a football, without this. So he's basically throwing like that. Come on.
That scares me a little bit. And Green Bay's defense, it's not like their team has a bad defense, right? Their defense is reasonable. And when you look at the offense of the Rams at this point in time, I have to say that it's going to be tough for the Rams to score. Akers is going to have to be the key on offense for the Rams. And can Green Bay just really focus in on that run and stop it? And I think if they can, they should do fine. 14 to 17 points maybe for the Rams is what I see. Then the question comes, now can the Rams stop the Packers? And I think the Packers offense is too many weapons. I think Aaron Donald's supposed to play. He could cause some problems for Rodgers, but there's too many options. He can dump the ball off. He's got Aaron Jones in the backfield. He's got Jamal Williams in the backfield if he needs to.
A.J. Dillon's been playing well lately.
Yeah, and I just think that they have too many weapons to really stop. I think Green Bay can easily get into the low to mid-20s, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get into the high 20s, low 30s even in this game. And there's no way the Rams are scoring that many points. So I got to go with the Packers. If you're a betting person, I don't know if I want to lay the touchdown necessarily, but I do like the Packers in this game.
Little DYK, since Aaron Rodgers has been in Green Bay, they've allowed the most points per games in playoffs, 35.6, since in his career. I will agree with you. This has to be his worst nightmare. Up until the Rams beat Seattle, he was looking at having TB12 playing the game up there in Green Bay, right?
Right, yeah. It was kind of a lose-lose situation almost, right?
Yeah, I mean, much better defense he has to go up against. We'll see now. So who are you picking?
Oh, I'm definitely taking the Packers to win the game. I don't know if they'll cover the spread, but they'll definitely win the game.
I'm with you on that one. All right, let's go to the other game. This one, by the way, the only two teams playing right now that have a home field advantage with no fans are Green Bay and this next game, Buffalo against Baltimore. What do you think?
Yeah, there could be some nasty weather up there as well. Not that Baltimore is not used to playing in, cold weather, but nothing like Buffalo, right?
Right.
And this game here, I mean, the Bills are looking great on offense. The Ravens, outside of Lamar Jackson's running, if you can stop that running and contain him, it should be an easy win. But it's not going to be. I think the Ravens are going to give him a tough challenge. I really do. Will Dobbins run on Buffalo's defense? Probably. Will Lamar Jackson design run plays on them? Probably. But it's going to come down to them having to throw the football. And Lamar Jackson can't throw the football. He's not a thrower. And let alone in potentially bad weather. And I think the Bills are built for that. And, at the end of the day, I know they're minus Zach Moss, but I think with Singletary in there, they should be fine. And Jeff Allen, he's the real deal, man. So I think it'll be close.
Josh Allen, yeah.
In the end, Buffalo pulls out this game.
I'm with you. By the way, DYK, Lamar is on record as saying, I've never played in snow my entire life.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He is, by the way, he is a Southern Miami guy. He's up there from Boynton Beach. So when the message gets out that you dissed him, I don't know what's going to happen. But okay, we'll see. But I'm with you. I think Buffalo wins that game because they have a home field advantage due to the weather. All right, let's get into the Sunday game. Cleveland at KC. Whoa.
Yeah.
You know what? KC should win this easily, but Baker Mayfield is on a revenge tour. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think the slipper falls off this week, though. The Chiefs, and I know they hadn't played that decent down the stretch. They had a tough game against Atlanta. But you know what? In prime time, Mahomes playing on the spotlight, this team is just loaded. Let's face it.
They are loaded.
Are loaded. And the defense is, again, they're kind of like the Packers in the sense that they don't have a horrible defense. They don't have a top-tier defense, but they're very opportunistic. And I think they can make the plays when it comes down to it on defense because the Browns do have a decent offense, right? They got some good receivers out there. Baker's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Hunt and Chubb could be the best two-headed backfield monster in the NFL. So, there's some weapons there. So they're going to score some points. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Both Sunday games, I think, are going to be very high-scoring games compared to your Saturday
games. Yeah, I would add this: if that game was the one being played in Buffalo with those running backs on Cleveland, this might be a different outcome, right? But given that there's no snow predicted in Kansas City, which there could be sometimes, but
right,
I'm with you on that. KC should win that game, but Baker Mayfield. Last time he played Mahomes in college, Mahomes threw for 790-something yards, 1 million touchdowns, and Baker still won. So who knows? We'll see. But
here's the thing: at the end of the game, though, I think, or the end of the day, it's going to be Kansas City in the second half. I think the first half is going to be close. I think Cleveland will keep it close. You might see like a 17-14 type of game or something like that at halftime. Sure. But the final in this game, I think Kansas City's going to push the high 30s, low 40s. I really do. I believe.
I'm with you. I agree.
And Cleveland might get into the low 30s, but they're like mid to high 20 kind of team. So like 41-28 or something like that is what I'm thinking this game will be. So Kansas City win. I think they'll cover the 10 points too.
Ooh, okay. All right, let's get into the nightcap on Sunday afternoon or evening, 6:40. Little DYK. We have the oldest two quarterbacks ever to face off in a playoff game. Oh, another DYK. First time ever, number 1 and number 2 in touchdown passes and yards passed in the NFL history books are going to play each other in the playoffs. By the way, Brees is 5-2 against Brady. I did not know that, but he is. What do you think?
Yeah, man, this is going to be I think it's the hardest game to pick for the week. And B, I think it's going to be the best game to watch. This should be a fun game. I'm looking forward to this game so much on Sunday night. It's going to be, to me, this is like a Super Bowl almost. That's how much I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fantastic. So as far as picking it, though, I've been torn all week. Of where I want to go with this. And the thing that I want to take Brady. My heart definitely wants to take Brady. my head is almost there. It's just the New Orleans Saints defense is good. They're really good.
Right,
and
right.
That's what's holding me back. And they can be disruptive. And they can rush with 4, which is Brady's nemesis. We know that. Brady also got smothered in Tampa Bay, 38-3 by this team.
By them, yep.
And he lost in the first second week of the first or second week of the season as well to them in New Orleans.
First week, yep.
He plays well in New Orleans, though. You and I saw him play in New Orleans for the Patriots, right?
And he was awesome. He was awesome
when the Saints were a good team.
Yep.
He's won a few Super Bowls there. And you know what? It's Tom Brady and it's the playoffs. And that's when he shines. So this is going to be my upset pick of the week. I don't know if it's really considered an upset. The line's only 3 points or whatever. And not to mention the fact, Russ, that both you and I had the same Super Bowl picks before the season even started. We said Kansas City and Tampa. So
right.
If I stick to my guns, I got to go with the Bucs in this game. I would consider an upset, though. I think New Orleans certainly has a legitimate, real shot at winning this game.
Agreed.
But I'm going to go on record saying the Bucs.
I'm with you. I agree with 100%. Brady has never lost to a team 3 times in one season. I don't think he's ever lost 3 in a row to the same team. So I got to pick Brady as well. So
there's been 10. This will be 10 picks we've made. 6 last week, 4 this week. We've been the same on every single pick. We haven't had one difference of opinion.
It's hard to be different on these games. I mean, for the most part, other than if I knew Goff was playing, I would have been different on that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the mind says these are the right teams to pick, PB, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think we're both going out a little bit of a limb with the Bucs. I think the mind might say you should take the Saints. So that's probably our one difference.
But historically, not many teams win 3 games in the same season against another team. It's only happened, I believe, twice in the NFL history. So
it's tough to do, and Brady's not going to let that happen.
Yeah. All right, man. All right, fans. Good one. Hey, by the way, Bruins last one on opening night. We're going to do an NHL preview next week. We will see you soon, PB. Nice show. Talk to you later.
Have a great weekend, everyone.